Mabusia for me more bibia kwa basancha cho bibia bi me fama kasa TV so eye Paul Adumoche ene distance mi abeto abonten no che se by election bi ba be koso na ndc amane ko no empese on be confirm ni ye nti no che se omo ye katasu mu aso a che se abusiafo eye lawyer Paul Adumoche che se ukopi mo UK eye mbonten so a eye Asante Achim MP a che se ye friend OK Frimpong ya che no na nhwehwemu ekoso a che se abusiafo wanhwe a eye by election be koso a che se NDC amaniko ni nim se eye Asante Achim so de eye MPP stronghold kese party no omo pese omo ye bibia mane secret omo nim say by all means say by election ko a MPP be facility ni ntino omo ye bibia mane secret nti mumi engotie eye lawyer Paul Adumoche nchemu ode to abonten efa eye OK Frimpong ya chi no ewo UK a che se by election ya hwe by election for sa abekoso ewo Asante Achim nti mumi engotie nse no nchemu ye pa subscribe to my channel like it therefore adwenche go comment section kama
that the NDC already has 2/3 majority. Why were they so interested in Akwetia? I'll tell you a secret. There could be another by-election pending in Asante Achim. I don't know whether it's north or south. Asante Achim. The seat was won by an independent candidate who massively defeated Nandi Appiah-Kubi, massively, and won. It may well be that there could be a by-election, not because he has passed. No, far from that. No, he's not passing, and he's a young man. He's not passing by the grace of God. But there are some legal matters, some of it extra jurisdiction, that may occasion that kind of situation. So if the NDC does not win Akwetia and they lose Akwetia to the NPP, it means that the NDC has, now this independent candidate I'm talking about currently sits with the NDC. So it means that the NDC has 2/3 exactly. 2/3 exactly. If they don't win Akwetia. Asante Achim North is more difficult for the NDC to win than to win Akwetia. Akwetia is easier for the NDC to win than that Asante Achim one. So if the NDC does not win Akwetia, does not contest in Akwetia and win as they have done now, so that they have 2/3 plus 1, and they remain at 2/3 exactly, and the Asante Achim by-election occurs, and there is the MPP win it, Asante Achim is currently is an independent candidate. The MPP independent, of course, but it's an independent candidate. But if the MPP have a candidate that wins it, and the person comes as MPP, then NDC were going to be short of the 2/3 by 1. So they will no longer have the absolute 2/3. That may be the reason why the NDC thought that, in spite of all the moral considerations, you can call them whatever name you want, they are going to Akwetia to deal with it. That's what happened. And then we can come to all the constitutionalists who are talking about there should be no by-election. There shouldn't be a by-election, competitive by-election when somebody dies some say within the first 2 years, some say throughout the 4 year, some say within the first year. I think that there will be occasion enough for us to discuss some of these matters. But okay, so is that where's the actual results? Do they have the final results? If they have those Congress candidate, his name is Bediako Bernard. He pulled 16,896 votes. Currently, we are talking about 110 polling stations out of 119 polling stations. So with 110 polling stations counted, with what will be left then of 119, maybe 9 polling stations left, the MPP's Kwame Asumedu has 13,767, whilst the NDC's Bernard Bediako has 16,896 votes. Now, the 9 polling stations left will not matter because if you add all the total number of registered voters in the 9 polling stations, it does not. It's not bigger than the difference in the 2 candidates. That is to say that if you add all the 9 polling stations to Kwame Asumedu, he still does not assail the lead of Bernard Bediako. So congratulations to Bernard Bediako. He is the elected member of parliament for Akwetia, and that's one more seat for the already humongous National Democratic Congress in parliament. And so most of the things that parliament will do in this 9th parliament will be attributed to NDC. The good, the not so good, and all the other things will be attributed to the NDC. That's the downside of having a big majority. If parliamentarians go for car loans now, and it's trumpeted by civil society and human rights watchers and corruption watchers, and they feel that there's a problem with the car loan, the general public are going to think that is an NDC problem. NPP had the same problem in the 2016 to 2020. Anything that went to parliament that citizens thought was not good, even if all parliamentarians were benefiting from it, it was always thought of as an NPP problem. And that's what is going to happen. When you have a majority, you always have to bite that bullet. But majority is very important for anybody in government. So yes, it's good. It's a good feather in the cap of the NDC. And that's why we praise them. Let's go back to the NDC montage. When we come back, we will look at one of the high points of the Akwatia situation. Everybody was hoping that there will be no real violence like we saw in Ablekuma, and the police seem to have rounded up the Ablekuma people. But here was my friend Chairman Azoka, who was threatening thunder and brimstone against the minority leader. That was bad, very, very bad. So we'll look at that. That's the ugly side of Akwatia. But this is the beautiful side. Elections have happened. Nobody died. Nobody was killed. Nobody was beaten up. Not real violence. As at now, we don't know the whole story, but as at now, not real violence. And the leader is Bernard Bediako. Congratulations to the NDC. Here is a montage again for President John Dramani Mahama. Later tonight, we are going into Article 146 and to Edu Lodge to discuss the conversations about the now removed Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo. Here's a montage.
Santi achim ene ye koya santi achim atifi ana afọ ene ye watifi na mrahye bedwani a wodo manfo anu wo ho wonmonyamfo ohene kwa mefrempon ena be nansa konne nanni ene na momframa muo se ya kire no UK manumu sade ene wakoye yo ene aye huhu na ebi se wakobo oba bi ena yese ya so no ena Manchester ena manfo di tutumu a na ade na asa aye huhu ye hwe ya chinu wampa ni esie ni akoso afedie nura ne nansa ye betia ye social media ise ne ewono mo an na bi wo ma no ye kohwe ya emrahye bedwani wo hene kwa mefrempon na dampamu wodampamu anye se wada wo abusua no yie no wode aba edampa so wode bra Facebook YouTube na behwade ni cheda ni kom na duve wode achechire ne ho no wodampamu en wo se wotanhunu ankasa Ghana ha se ye wotanhunu ya wose mmode ma wowura mrahye bedwam ka kwaku anwu MP no MP odampam
fresh wine
wonu ni cheye da
weja na bodwu kama kana no me ade
chimwi so wode water waves afam kakra water waves kakra wom ti wahu ni odi twa photo ni we ni so ne kakra wom ni odampam
we obabunu pa
ayo empamu a woda yi wo kasa na nasam odi tudwa no Kwabi life wo de entie bi mrei
Sebi, Eradia Madom Nami Didia. Nami but in Yankabi, our Muku school, in Yankabia, and Kaoke from Pon Niwa, and Komunya Kwenya, Enko University, and Neomuku University, and Krofobia, a Hochira Wufi in tea. And Kaoke from Pon Niwa, and Kamba Bassasam, and Ness Uncle Phone no Monya baby agina. Ukunanibi uke from Ponti utimidity. These are the things that I'm proud about. And none na mekaya mameniji.
Jim FM.
Nti. Se oti baby. Now they are your party sem. Party sem. Ote party one te. And I just say, ube say okay from Pon. I just say ode. And then my papa okay from Pon ye na unhu so da. Nti de bia no. Boni ne nsem keka wa yesi yesi o ye fraud yesi o ton cocaine yesi o yesi sa na teacher ni munti teacher ni voice message awa you e de mo obi